Hi. So, the birth of babies is not limited to the daylight hours. In Liberia, I was a Peace Corps volunteer there in the 1960s. There is less on-grid electric power in Liberia today than there was then. Things have actually gone backwards. So my name is Rich Fahey. I'm founder of Liberian Energy Network. We've been working in Liberia continuously since 2011. We are distributing off-grid solar power. We've distributed nearly 14,000 units, providing 70,000 Liberians access to power and light. We are now seeking $1 million of grant, loan, or blended grant loan funding to assist us in implementing to move further to scale using pay-go and mobile money technology. With those funds, we can provide an additional 27,000 off-grid connections, providing power to over 137,000 Liberians. We can do it in 36 months and be cash flow positive. So Liberia has been described as the least electrified country in the world. It's one of the poorest countries in the world. It pays the highest price for electricity of any country on the African continent. Yet energy is key to its development, and part of that is its health care. So, it's 7 years we've been operating, and what have we learned? Well, one thing is we view what other people see as barriers really as challenges. We have no competition in Liberia. Last year we were the largest provider of off-grid power in the whole country. We use a high volume, low margin sales model, and we build, most importantly, on what works through strategic partnerships. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to use what is there to meet the last mile challenges. And most importantly, all of the management and all of the staff are Liberians. So we have Liberians solving a Liberian problem. One of our most successful partnerships, I'm going to tell you a story. One of our most successful partnerships has been working with the Firestone Rubber Tappers Union, FAUL. 13,000 rubber tappers live on a 1,000,000-acre plantation with no running water and no electricity. And we've partnered with their union between a pilot we conducted in 2015 and a beta test in 2016-17. We distributed over 6,000 lights. So we delivered 6,000 families lights. So there's a high demand for off-grid power in Liberia. And what's not evidence on the little story I just told you is we conducted the pilot and the beta test over a period of 3 and 6 months respectively. And the problem we had as we went through that test is we were selling lights faster than we could rebuild our inventory. Liberia is an all-cash economy. There is effectively no private lending. Even the commercial lending is marginal. So we built into this model an installment sales component, and we used the employee checkoff at Firestone to be able to create the opportunity for people to buy these in installments where they have no other opportunity. But it proved difficult to manage. And the reason it was difficult to manage is that Firestone, the company, was actually managing the funds. And it led to some problems, some cash flow problems for us. And that slowed our ability to redeploy the funds to bring more lights in to keep this engine chugging along. Additionally, most Liberians don't get a paycheck. They're not in the paid economy. So to really meet what we see as our market, and that's 660,000 off-grid homes in the peri-urban and rural households, we needed something better to give us a tool to solve this problem. And we've got that. The solution we've come up with is, and it's certainly well known here in Kenya, it's using pay-go and mobile money. And mobile money has just come to Liberia. So what we want to do with that $1 million that I'm begging for is most of it gets deployed to buying the product. And this model, and it works, it works by revolving those funds around. So they come back in, and we have not only the original funds, and we lose some obviously for overhead expenses and those sorts of things, but we've got a margin that we build onto that that lets us increase our ability to continue to serve the market. And we serve that market through many, many channels. So, what we want is, we want you to partner with us. One reason might be that you don't have to hear me do this talk again, but the better reason is that we're on a roll. 2 weeks ago, the government of Liberia came to us, and we've worked in partnership with them, but not for them. We have a respectful relationship, but we're not dependent on them. And they came to us 2 weeks ago and asked us to consider taking over the importation and distribution of the World Bank-sponsored off-grid rural renewable energy program in Liberia, which is a wonderful opportunity. Like every opportunity, it has ups and downs, but it clearly gives us an additional platform. So we know we have high demand. In fact, one of the things I didn't tell you in the Firestone story is we still have 6,000 people on the ground, on the plantation, that are waiting for us to give them lights. In addition to that, 2 other concession unions are prepared to sign memorandums of understanding with us, which gives us access to 25,000 other plantation workers in other plantations. So, what we need is we need an infusion of cash, some working capital, and what we get for that is we get to light up Liberia. And we would like to invite you to join us as an additional partner and really change that first picture we saw. And remember, babies aren't just born in daylight hours. And join us. And this is transformative at scale in one of the toughest places to do business, a place that oftentimes gets overlooked. And we have an opportunity to make fundamental change to hundreds of thousands of lives. Thank you.